All right, ready. I have not made any videos in a long time, but I got about a third of the way through my next project and realized I should probably make a video on my progress here before I actually finish it. So if anyone's even interested in how I did this, they have some idea. So every summer, I usually take a couple months off and I will do a project around the house. I've built a greenhouse, a tiki bar. I fenced in my wife's greenhouse and did raised beds last summer. I built a composting bin, a wood shed. I did a fire pit, and behind me is my shed that I built 2 summers ago. So as I'm talking here, I'm just going to flip it around to show you. And I did a patio, which is to my left here. So I'm just going to flip it around and show you the things that I have built and then what I'm working on this summer. So here we go. So here we go. I built this shed with literally by myself 2 summers ago. I did have my wife help me lift the second section of this front wall because this is it's too sectional, so I couldn't reach it by myself. So she did help me put that last section of the front wall in place, but I did all the rafters, stood all the walls myself. It was quite the job. And composting post bin down there, I did that over the winter. Just a really quick job for my wife. Up here, I did a little back of the house patio, fenced it in, flagstone, that kind of stuff. Got a greenhouse over here. I built that a couple years ago, and then last summer I fenced it in and did some raised beds in there. And back in the back you can see a tiki bar, and there is a fire pit there. And now my wife wanted a walkway between the greenhouse and then the shed area over here, so I'm gonna flip it around so you can see this. I am building she wanted a curving walkway. The ground did kind of slope down. We had this river rock here, and I have 2 boxers, and they like to run full speed around here, and they would just slowly push the rock off. We're constantly having to rake it back up. So she wanted a walkway. So today I did the high side with the floor joists first, laying them out, and I kind of followed the angle of the rock we have here. But at the same time, I had to go around tree roots, these big oaks right here. I didn't want to mess with any of the roots. I didn't want to kill the tree, so my posts are they're not right at the end of the floor joist. Sometimes they're a few inches in or out. These are all 6 feet sections. This section right here actually ended up being 5 feet because there's a huge root right here, and I'm actually going between them. So everything is 6, but this is 5. It is obviously level and plumb because there is a low side. So I did the upper side first today, laid it out, put the posts in the ground. They're just 2 feet down. They're just going to be a walking path, so I didn't need to go too far. And I just used pea gravel in case I ever did need to pull it up. It's not going to be in concrete. So everything are just 4x4 posts, 2x6 floor joists. I am running one in the middle, and then as I'm coming around the back side to tie them in, I did overshoot this one floor joist about 6 inches and then toenailed it into the first one, and I will keep doing that up through here. And I'm about ready to quit today. I'm very tired. So that is the project thus far. I will obviously finish the low side, and then after that I will decide what kind of flooring I want. And I think I'm going to go with Trex, and I will just lay that out straight across, perpendicular, and then I will take my skill saw and cut the angle in on the sides to give it that angled look, and I'll let it overhang a couple inches or so on the other side. I wanted it to be a little wider, but I went with 8-foot 2x6s, and it left just over 24 inches of waist. I was going to go with 27-inch width, but that would have meant I would have had to buy more 2x8s by 6, 2x6x8s, and I don't like to waste stuff. So I just went with 2 foot inside. It's actually going to end up being about 30 inches wide, which is plenty wide for one person to be walking down. But I like to use as much of the lumber as I can without wasting. So again, that's my project for now. If you have any questions, let me know. Pretty straightforward on how I did it, and I should be able to finish this in a day or so and then move on to the next one. So if you're watching, thanks. Bye.